Right, so we have reached the last 15 days for the net examination. And why am I saying 15 days? So you will be probably seeing this video on 1st of December. And why am I telling you this 15 days is because the last 2 days you are not going to study at all. Okay, you don't have to study at all. What you need to do is, I'm going to tell you two things. Okay, and one of them is the key to clear entrance exams. Okay, that is a very big thing that I generally tell to my students who are taking private coaching from me. And so today I'm going to reveal that trick as well. Now in the last 15 days, like I have told you, if you have been preparing since a long time, or if you have started preparing now also, I know there are some students who have just started preparing for the net exam. Okay, and to them I would say you still have a chance to qualify. Okay, I am a testimony here. If you can study for the last 15 days, I mean if you just solve the questions for the last 15 days, you still have a good chance to clear the net exam. Okay, now let's see what you have to do. So like I have been stressing, for the last 15 days you only have to solve questions. So forget theory now. Now only solve CSIR net questions and gate questions from previous year. If you have already solved CSIR net questions from previous years, then go to gate questions. Okay, or try and find some kind of material from your friends, and or some kind of question bank from your friends and who are taking coaching, and then do solve those questions. So all you have to do in these last 15 days is solve questions. Okay, this is one big thing that you have to do, right? And whatever doubts arises when you're solving a question, so you have a doubt that is arising when you're solving the question, only look up that particular doubt, not to read what is ahead, what is behind the concept. Okay, only that particular concept. For example, if you're having a doubt in say some reaction in organic chemistry, then you look at the mechanism of that particular reaction only. Once you understand the mechanism and you are able to solve the question, then just move on to the next question. Okay, do not waste your time on reading concepts now. The time to read concepts is over. And if you're just started to prepare for the net exam, then you do the same thing. Just solve questions, and whatever question you are not able to solve, just look up how to solve that particular question only, or what concept is going behind solving that question, right? The second thing is, I tried searching for that for about 1 hour and I could not find that, and that thing is very precious to me because that helped me clear a lot of exams. And what it is a list of formulas. So what I did in the last 15 days was I took up a big blank page. Okay, it is called a legal size page. It is not a A4 size page, it is a legal size page, so it's quite big. It's like this big. Okay, and in that I wrote all the formulas of all the topics that I have studied till now, right from thermodynamics to kinetics to electrochemistry. Whatever formulas I could find, I just wrote them down. For first order reaction, for second order reaction, for third order reaction, transition state theory, solid state, all the formulas that are there. What are the tricks that are involved? For example, in molecular spectroscopy, if you have seen my videos, there are a lot of tricks that you can use in molecular spectroscopy. So I wrote down all the tricks. And then I wrote down all the stretching frequencies of carbon compounds. So it was about 12 to 13 pages of formulas and tricks on how to solve questions from each and every topic. Okay, so this is what I did, and I don't know, while shifting I might have misplaced that particular sheet. It was very close to my heart, and because that 12 sheets of paper helped me qualify a lot of exams. Okay, I'll be honest with you. So what I did was, in the last 2 days I just used to revise those formulas just before the exam. Just go through all those formulas that I had written down and go for the exam. Because CSIR net questions, many of them are directly based on the formulas. Even gate questions are directly based on the formulas. So from these 12-13 sheets of paper, you can easily qualify any entrance exam, right? So just make that. If you haven't made that till now, just make that. It is like a summary of last 3 months or 6 months, or however long you have been working. It's a summary of all those those periods of time where you have been working hard, right? So this is a must for everybody. And the last 2 days, you do not have to do any questions, you do not have to solve any kind of formulas. anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to revise that sheet of paper again and again. You just keep on revising those formulas. That's about it. Nothing else in the last 2 days. And you should not spend more than 2 hours revising those formulas in the last 2 days. Okay? Enjoy yourself. Masti karo, mazak karo, maze karo, whatever you like. If you like to watch a movie, go watch a movie in those last 2 days. If you like dancing, dance. If you like to hang out with friends, go have coffee. Whatever you like. Okay, whatever you like, you just go ahead and do that in those last 2 days. And it happens with everybody. It happened with me. It will happen with you. That in the last 2 days, suddenly you realize that you do not remember the formulas. Oh, you forgot this concept, you forgot that concept. It happens with everybody. It is very natural. But you do not have to worry. Do not let your mind waver here and there. Just focus on that sheet of paper which you have summarized. And trust yourself, trust your instincts. When you're walking down for the exam, when you're waking up in the morning on the day of the exam, just tell yourself that yes, I'm going to qualify the exam, and walk in the classroom like you're going to clear the exam. Walk in the classroom like you're someone who has cleared the exam. Okay, be confident. These small things are key to clearing the exam. The more pressure you take, the lesser the chance that you will qualify the exam. Okay. Like if you go relaxed and if you go confident, there's a very high chance that you will qualify the exam. Those 4-5 marks, if you're missing the cutoff by 4-5 marks, it is only because of lack of confidence. Once you have that confidence, you will not lose out on those 4-5 marks. Okay, because of nervousness, because of your pressure that you have, you tend to make silly mistakes and you lose out on those 4-5 precious marks. And one more thing that I want to say is that, alright, let's just come on to the trick that I wanted to tell you. Okay, before that, since this trick is very important, I'll just see whether the video is filming or not. Right. So the trick is that, okay, let's say you did 16 questions in section C. 16 questions you did in section C. I'm assuming, okay. 5 questions from section A. And out of 35 questions, you do about 15 questions from section B. Right? From section B, you can attempt 30 questions. From section A, you can attempt 10 questions. Okay? And from section C, you can attempt 30 questions. Right? So it makes up 200. 30 into 4, 120 plus 60, 180. This is 2 marks. Section B and section A is 2 marks. So 30 into 60, and this will become 20. It's 60 plus 20, 80 plus 120 gives 200 marks. So total you can attempt 30 questions in section C, section B 30 questions, and section A you can attempt 10 questions. Okay? Am I making some mistake? I don't think so. It's okay. Anyway, if I am making some mistake, just ignore it. Okay. Anyway, so now if you are doing 16 questions, let's say in section A you are confident that those 5 questions you have attempted, you will get 10 marks. And mostly when you attempt section A questions, they are short questions, so you get full marks. So let's say you get 10 marks in section A. In section B, out of 15 questions, when you are doing those questions, take minimum of 5 that you are going to do wrong. Okay, so you are going to get 10 correct. So plus 20. And in section C, you again take 2 questions as wrong. Okay, so you lose out on those 2 questions. Whenever you are doing section C questions, no matter how confident you are that you have attempted all those questions and you are going to get it right, do not get bluffed by that. Okay, you will make mistakes and you will do at least 2 questions wrong. At least I'm saying from section C, if you are attempting 16, you can only get 14 right. Okay, it has never happened with anyone that they attempted 20 questions and they got 20 on 20. Okay, there might be few exceptions, but mostly this is what is happening. So if 14 questions you get right, so 56. So 56 plus 20, 76 plus 10, 86. Let's say the paper was a medium difficulty paper. So the cutoff for JRF is going to be 100. Now you're missing out by 14 marks. In your mind, you have attempted 100 marks paper because 16 into 4, 64. 64 plus 30, 94 plus 10, 104. So you are assuming that you have attempted 104, but you are getting 86. This is for sure. So whenever, just whatever number of questions you have attempted, just subtract 20. Minimum, you will lose out on 20. So if you are attempting, let's say, 130 marks paper, then you can be quite sure that you will get 110 and you will qualify the exam. Only if you are attempting 130 questions and that too you feel that you have got all those 130 marks as correct. You are damn sure, you are very sure that you have got all of them correct. Then only you will lose out on 20 marks. If you are not sure, if you have played a fluke with some questions, then it will be much less than this. Then it could go minus 30, minus 40 also. So if you are attempting 130 and you are not sure, then you can get 90 also. Okay, so these are some of the things I want to tell you. So now where is that mega trick that I am talking about? Now CSIR net, you can use this mega trick because the correct to incorrect ratio is 4:1. That means if you get a correct answer, you get 4 marks, and if you get an incorrect answer, you lose out on 1 mark. Okay, now let's talk about this mega trick. So now let's say that you attempted 130 marks paper, and in section C you attempted 18 questions out of the number of questions that were given. How many are given? I'm forgetting the new rules. I think 60 questions, right? Yeah. So out of 18, you are attempting 18 questions out of 16. You have a choice to attempt. Oh yeah, sorry, I did a small mistake. Here you have a choice of 25 marks, 25 questions, not 30 questions. You have a choice of 25 questions. Sorry, I thought I was making some mistake, right? And over here you have a choice of 15 questions. Yeah. Anyway, so you have a choice of 25 questions. So this makes it 100 plus 20, 60, 160 plus 30. What mistake am I making? 160 plus 30, 190. I'm not able to identify what kind of mistake. 35 questions. Sorry. Yeah, not make sense. 100 plus 20, 70 plus 30, 100, 200. Sorry. I don't know how I missed that. I think because of the new rules I got confused. Anyway, so 18 questions. So you have 7 more questions left, right? Now, let's say I have told you the method of elimination. If you have been continuously following me, you might know about the method of elimination, where you eliminate 2 options, which are sure shot, not the right answers. For example, there is a reaction where bromination is taking place. We are adding Br2. So when we are adding generally to a double bond, when we are adding Br2 or a halogen basically, what happens is first a bromonium ion is formed. So when you are adding Br2, a bromonium ion is formed, Br plus, and then this Br minus attacks from the opposite end. Okay, this Br minus attacks from the opposite end to give you anti-product. That is, this Br and this Br are in different planes. Okay, so for example, you get a question of bromination. You know that the product is going to be anti. That is, both the Brs are going to be in different planes. So out of the 4 options, you will have 2 Br below the plane, 2 Br above the plane, and so those will be syn. Both Br in the same plane means it is a syn product. So you know that these 2 products cannot be the answer, where both the Br are above the plane and where both the Br are below the plane. But you know it can only be that both of them are anti, right? So you have eliminated 2 options where both the Br are above the plane and both the Br are below the plane. So you have eliminated 2 options. So you are only left with 2 options. So one question you identified like this. You do not know which is the correct. So you eliminated those 2 questions, those 2 options. So you mark that, so you circle that question. You come back to it later. Then again, there's a question on, let's say, sharpless asymmetric dihydroxylation. Now you know sharpless asymmetric dihydroxylation is again syn. Okay, it happens in the same plane. I am taking more examples of organic because I am more familiar with organic, right? In inorganic also I'll tell you what kind of tricks you can use, right? So for example, you're carrying out asymmetric dihydroxylation, a sharpless asymmetric dihydroxylation. Again, you know that the dihydroxylation is going to take place from the same plane. In this case, there was anti-product. In the case of sharpless dihydroxylation, there is syn product. So you can eliminate two options where there will be given as anti-product. So again, you got one question. So you got two questions, right? You got two questions where you have eliminated two options and you are only left with two options. Okay. Now let's come on to inorganic. In inorganic, I'll tell you a very funny trick, and I think most of you might not have thought about it in this way. For example, there's a question on oxidative addition. There's a question on oxidative addition and they have given you three compounds. Let's say they have given you OMe, they have given you Me, and they have given you electron withdrawing group, like for example, any electron withdrawing group, let's say nitro, NO2. So OMe is an electron donating group, methyl is neutral and comparatively neutral, and NO2 is an electron withdrawing group. And you have been given a question on electron withdrawing or on oxidative addition, that which one of those compounds, you have been given some metal M, and to them there is a R group attached which can be OMe, Me or NO2. Okay. So it is given which of the following will go the what is the order of oxidative addition with these kinds of R groups. Okay. Now see, the only way to justify the rate of the reaction is oxidative addition or any other reaction, okay, is that by electron donating effect and electron withdrawing effect. If you are given groups like these, there's only one possibility, plus I effect and minus I effect of those of these compounds. Okay. Now if you see, okay, you do not know what is going to happen, whether the minus I effect will lead to faster reaction or plus I effect will lead to faster reaction. Let's say you do not know, but you know this is the electron withdrawing group, most electron withdrawing, and this is the most electron donating. So the options that you need to consider is either the OMe group is reacting the fastest, then Me, then NO2, or the NO2 group is reacting the fastest followed by Me, OMe. It cannot be that we have OMe first, then NO2 and then Me, or it cannot be we can have Me first, then NO2, then OMe. So options like these you can eliminate instantly because it has to follow the inductive effect. So if it is following the inductive effect, it could be because of plus I effect or minus I effect. It cannot be in between, that we have OMe first, then NO2, then Me, or we have Me first, NO2 and OMe. So you eliminate such options. You only consider these two options where the plus I and minus I effect groups are arranged. You do not know whether OMe will react fastest, a plus I group will react fastest, or a minus I group will react fastest. You do not know that. The only thing you know that is that you have to arrange them in plus I and minus I effect. So you eliminated two options and you got one correct option, right? Similarly, there are reactions on reverse selectivity in organic chemistry. So for example, there is a question on Gilman's reagent, and in Gilman's reagent, definitely there will be two options where you will be given a 1,2 product. So if you have a alpha beta unsaturated ketone and you use a Gilman reagent, it is a copper reagent, okay, so it always gives 1,4 addition. So this R group is going to attack this carbon, okay. So if you give like 1, 2, 3, 4, so it gives a 1,4 addition compound, 1,4 addition product. So there will be two options where this R group will be attacking the second carbon and giving a 1,2 product. So again, you can eliminate that. There might be stereochemistry involved and you might not know the stereochemistry of the Gilman reagent, but you know that it will give 1,4 product. So again, you came out with a question where you eliminated two options. So like this, for example, let's say at the end you mark 8 questions where you have completely eliminated two options and you are sure that the answer is going to be among those two options. right? And now we come on to the trick. I think let's just check whether video is filming or not. Right. So the trick is, out of those 8 questions, I told you there are 4 markers. You had option of, let's say you have attempted 18 questions, right? So let's say you have 7 questions like these. Okay. Now if I assume that you are getting 130 correct, 130 marks you have attempted the paper. You have attempted 130 marks of paper. Now there are 7 questions where you are sure there are 2 options. So what is the probability that you will get out of those 7? Let's assume we have 8 questions. That will make it easier. What is the probability that you will get right answers? There is a probability, if you take out the simple probability, that if you have eliminated 2 options, then you are only left with 2 options. So it is like a true and false question. Okay, you do not know what the answer is. It's like a true and false question. So what is the probability that if you do not know anything about the question, but there are only 2 options, that you will get them correct? There is a probability that you will get 4 right and 4 wrong. Statistically speaking, you will get 4 right and 4 wrong. Now if you get 4 right, how many marks do you score? 16. And 4 wrong, minus 4. Attempting such questions gives you 12 marks. No, everybody overlooks this aspect of a CSIR net. Because of this 1:4 ratio, it is making a hell lot of difference. In other papers, you cannot do this because there is a ratio of 1:3. 1:3 is risky. No doubt it is. It will still fetch you marks. If you take 1:3 ratio also, 4 right means 8 marks. Sorry, 12 marks. If you go for 1:3 ratio, like TIFI is 1:3 ratio. So 12 marks, 4 right and 4 wrong means minus 4. So you still gain 8 marks. But in CSIR net, there's a high chance, high probability that you're going to score marks. Let's say that your luck is very bad. Yeah, I mean, for you statistics don't work, for you probability don't work, and out of those 8 questions you get 6 wrong. You get 6 wrong, and you think, okay, out of those 8 questions I've got 6 wrong. I'm definitely going negative. 6 wrong means minus 6. 2 correct means plus 8. Minus 6 plus 8. Still gaining 2. So the least, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose at all. That this is what, I don't know why students overlook or why they are scared. If you have identified 8 questions like these, attempt them all. You are nothing. You have got nothing to lose. Okay, so do not overlook this. Always circle those questions. Yes, if you are confident you are qualifying, you are getting around 140 or 150 marks without doing this trick, then I would say you should not take the risk. But as you can see, there is no risk involved. Okay, but yet if you feel you do not want to do that, it's okay. For 140, 150 marks, I'll say it's okay from your side if you're not trying to attempt those questions. But if you are scoring 130, if you are scoring 120, 130, it's your call. You can still take that call. 120, 110, 100, 90. Okay, 80 you cannot clear the exam. You can only clear LS. So if your aim is to clear LS and you're scoring around 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, use this trick. If you are scoring this much, or if you have attempted these many questions, 80 marks, 90 marks, 100 marks, 110, 120, attempt those questions. Attempt questions like these. Okay, so that is why this elimination method is really important, and numerous amounts of students have qualified because of this elimination method and because of this 1:4 ratio. Okay, so even if you are, let's say I've taken 8 questions. Let's say let's say you identify only 4 such questions. 4 is the minimum amount of questions you will find in any CSIR net paper, where you can eliminate 2 options for 4 questions. So any paper you take of any year, if you don't believe me, see it for yourself. You will find minimum of 4 questions where you can eliminate 2 options. Like that, just by seeing the question. So let's say you eliminated 4 questions also, and you attempted those 4 questions, And again, let's say your probability statistics don't favor you and you get 3 wrong. So 3 wrong means minus 3. 1 right means plus 4. Still gaining 1 mark. This is what I'm telling you when your probability or your when statistics are not favoring you. Let's say in this 8 marks question, statistics favor you and you get 5 right. And you get 5 right. So 5 into 4, 20. Minus 3, 17. Okay, you're getting 17 marks. Now I'll tell you one very interesting thing. I use this trick, okay, in my paper, and I had 8 such questions and I got 7 right. I did not know the answer to them. I did not know the correct answer to 7 questions, and I did not know the correct answer to 8 questions. I eliminated 2 options, but I was not sure which one is correct. Now most of the other students would have left those questions. I attempted those 8 questions. I got 7 correct. 7 into 4, 28. Minus 1, 27. I gained 27 marks. I did not know the answer to a single question and I gained 27 marks. Right? 7 into 4, 28. Minus 1, negative. So 27 marks I gained. Choice is yours. With that, I'll end my CSIR Net June 2017 series, and I wish you all the best, and I wish all of you qualify. Right? All the best.